You're listening to Real Talk Texas with local expert Steve Hakes. Now, here's Steve.
Welcome back. Today in the studio, we've got Kelly Rigas and Hillary Higgins of KR Wealth Management in Dallas. And we're talking about your money. We're talking about some of the things you should be doing right now as you prepare for your tax season and as you're getting your life plan, your financial part of your life plan put together. They're great people that can give you great advice. They come with great credentials. And, you know, one of the things I asked during the break while y'all were listening to commercials, I asked them, I said, okay, it sounds like I'm getting really personal attention or individual attention here. In my mind, immediately I'm thinking, okay, this is going to cost me a lot of money to engage with your firm. I mean, am I wrong?
How does that work?
How's it work? Yeah.
Here's the thing. This is a common misconception about financial advisors. We don't believe that you should walk in the door and hand someone thousands of dollars to assess where you are. You don't pay your doctor that way. That's just not the way the world works. We work with people and interview with people and do reviews free of charge. If you make a decision to work with us, then and only then do you and us sit down and figure out the most cost-efficient way for us all to work together. If you already own a mutual fund and you transfer that to us, there is no additional charges. The mutual fund company shares a portion of their fees with us. And so you get advice without additional cost. The other thing is, it's tough. This is a tough market. We can't charge high fees and then expect to get high returns for the client. Those fees will eat into those returns. So it's a competitive environment. It's a recession. And advisors that aren't paying attention to both sides of both the return and the fees being charged aren't doing a service to their clients, because it's a complete picture, but it's a very big misconception. You can get all the advice all day long. We don't charge for advice. We do not charge hourly.
So I get all this personal attention. It doesn't really cost me any more money. Is that what you're saying?
It does not cost above and beyond to work with us. We are compensated through the investments that you have, whether you currently have them or you need to implement them. The bottom line is it's full disclosure. Every single fee structure is completely disclosed, and you get to decide what's the best fit for you. That's the most important discussion. You've got to feel comfortable having these everyone has to be able to ask the question, what does this cost?
Okay, well, great. So it's the beginning of the year. I'm ready to sit down. What's the secrets? What's the secret sauce that I need to know about, that I'm getting ready to make sure I'm on track and I'm not just out here, I always use the term making the donuts, doing the same thing over and over and over again and not really getting any different results. So to change that pattern, what should I be doing? What are you telling your clients today?
I think first and foremost, asset consolidation is your priority, making sure that your house is in order and that it matches up with what you think in your mind. I think very often do your thoughts in your head of where you're standing financially match up with the statements. It's not always bad, but it's important that you address where you are today and face the facts and work with someone that you're very comfortable with, and you can ask them any and all financial questions. We work very well together and often speak with our clients about asset consolidation, and the secret to all of this is looking at your overall financial picture. It's money in and money out. So as you mentioned before, real estate we do think is a great investment for certain clients, obviously in certain situations. If your mortgage rate is 6 or 7% and you have the bulk of your investment sitting in cash earning 0.01%, you're not making any money. With inflation, averaging around 3%, it's very important that you are working with someone that is cognizant of all of these interest rates in your life. Credit card debt could be another thing. And if you're paying 25% a month on, the minimum payment, and I understand it's been an incredibly tough economy and incredibly tough times for us, but the only way to get ahead is to look at your financial picture very honestly and openly with your financial advisor and with your experts, and make sure that everybody is on the same page about, okay, this is something I'm not really proud of, but this is what this is the interest rate on this. Is this fair? Is this competitive? No, this is not. We need to be working extra hard in your investment side to overcome all that is going out over here.
Or come up with a strategy that you're just giving advice. It's not something you'd be collecting a fee on. You're looking at the whole picture for them.
Absolutely.
So I think that's great. And so, it's funny, you said, consolidate assets. And it's a lot of times when I'm taking a mortgage application, it'll be, I've got this bank account over here. I did a loan recently, honestly, that somebody had 7 different accounts at 7 different banks. And I'm like, why? Well, I do it because it breaks things apart for me, and I compartmentalize, I guess, things. So they're in their mind, they can forget about that money over there or whatever. But to me, it wasn't working for them, and I don't understand why they were doing that. And then they were moving money from one account to another one, which drives us mortgage people crazy because we're trying to document that they're not borrowing funds to buy a house. So when we see large deposit, we have to verify that. So
we see that a lot. I mean, people play games with the money. They're like, oh, well, this CD money over here is from my parents that we inherited. And, but this credit card debt, I'm going to keep it over there.
Yeah.
We jokingly call it the blue money, the green money, the purple money, and the yellow money. But reality is it's all the same money, and it's all of your personal.
It almost sounds stressful for me that, like, I'm forgetting about something that's over there, or maybe it's a way to relieve stress. I don't have to worry about it. But to me, I like your idea of consolidating assets. So I got one phone call to make and find out what's going on. You can compartmentalize it for me.
Absolutely.
Right?
We can title the accounts however you'd like. We can have the joint account, for the benefit of your children, or this joint account is for your trip to Europe, or however you like it and however it works in your mind. But I think it's so crucial to have that in one place, not only for the peace of mind, but also for break points. Something that many people don't know about, mutual funds is you have minimum thresholds in investing in mutual funds. You could be missing out if you have the same American Funds mutual fund at one brokerage company and you have the same one in another statement at another firm. And there's another thing, you're doing a disservice ultimately to yourself if you're not being open and honest with your financial advisor about all of your investments, because we're giving you financial advice on what we have in front of us. We can give the best advice on the full picture, just like anybody, just like a doctor, just like a lawyer. CPAs really love when assets are consolidated too. We work very closely.
So do we in the mortgage world.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
makes it easy.
At tax time, how wonderful that instead of calling 6 different people and having 6 different 1099s and you've misplaced one and then you have one out here, you have one contact person, one team that provides all that for you. And furthermore, it can provide that to your CPA and take you out of the loop, and you can have spring break or
Mortgage
something.
originators and CPAs love us because we're organized. We send Excel spreadsheets. Here you go. And with the client, of course, with the client's permission, but it takes the client out of the loop, and we say, absolutely, with your permission, we can speak to your CPA and your mortgage originator. And then we have the dialogue with their mortgage lender or their refinance. But, it could be the difference in many cases for a client's retirement picture if they're paying an extra $1,000 a month on a mortgage.
Right.
I mean, that could be literally the difference on whether they retire on time.
I had a meeting this week with a gentleman that had a $1.8 million mortgage. He was at 6.7% because jumbo rates used to be that way. And I showed him how I could save him 2%, 3% on that mortgage. He's going to save like $5,000 a month in interest that he was paying that he didn't have to pay. And he was one of those people that was just kind of locked down and afraid to make a move because he didn't know where things were going. And also very, very busy business person. Never really got around to it.
And a lot of people have heard about how hard mortgages are to qualify for, but you were saying that really has opened up quite a bit. It's changed and loosened a little bit.
Yeah, well,
it still requires
the agency boxes are still very tight.
Right.
At Affiliated Bank, I'm very blessed because we have a great product called the Make Sense Mortgage, and you probably heard, if you're listening out there, you've heard the ads on the show about what we can do. It's basically for the fallout. It's for if you don't fit in this box, we can still do your loan. It's not not a subprime rate. It's kind of in between, as Gary Graham, our president, CEO, likes to say we put it for the in-between type people. And so that's a great product that we have. And so we're probably the first call you should make as far as getting a mortgage, because we've got more options than anybody else in town. And so we can fit that guy that has the $1.8 million mortgage that may not have the credit score that the agencies like, or may not be able to document the income the way the agencies like, self-employed, things like that. I mean, we do that. Basically, does it make sense to lend this person money? So that's a great thing about what we can do. So get out your cell phone, put in this number, text us now. If you want to talk about mortgages, just put in mortgage. If you want some help with your finances, just put in help. Leave me a voicemail, or if you don't want to text, but send it to this number at our show here at Real Talk Texas at 817-925-2546. That's 817-925-2546, or go to realtalktexas.com. Contact us that way too. So we'll put you in touch with KR Wealth Management of Dallas. They're a great firm. Highly recommend them. We got to wrap this up, gals. I mean, it was great having you in the studio. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing your knowledge.
Thank you for having us. And we also believe that we are a great complement to work with people, because we are not affiliated or represent one product or one family. We can look at every asset, every mutual fund, every stock. So we don't have our own products. So we can really, truly give pure advice. Okay, great. KR Wealth Management of Dallas. Make sure you get a hold of them. And next week, you want to definitely tune in next week. We've got Alicia Trevino of Century 21 back in the studio. We've got Tom Greco of Greco Homes. They build an unbelievable modern-style home, mid-century modern homes in North Texas. So we're going to have them in the studio. So make sure you tune in next week. We've got another great show planned with some great real experts.